Good evening. What's going on? The Bearded Humor One here. It is a Monday night. Tonight is going to be a fun one. I have a group on tonight. Not a group on, like group on. No, not a group on. I have a group on tonight. It's going to be a fun group. It's the Comedy Content Collective. This is an amazing bunch of artists. These are people who do things. You've probably seen it. You probably left. They do memes. They do posters. For comedians, for musicians, for all sorts of people. Like I said, they're all artists on different levels. Computer, phone, pen and paper, the old-fashioned way. People actually still do a lot of that stuff. The thing about them is it's a great group of people. They're very supportive of one another. I got dragged into one of their groups back in, I believe it was Sober October a couple of years ago. And these are podcast experts. They know everything that's going on in the comedy world. They are a big part of comedy. Like I said, you've seen their work. You may not know it. They do a lot of stuff for a lot of big names out there. Again, so we're going to jump right in because I got a lot of people. I want to get everybody on here tonight. I want everybody to plug what they do. If they can show, I know because we're on the phone, people that do stuff on the phone, you can't bring it up. But if anybody else wants to show, they're going to show what they do. Great group of people. Again, very inspiring group of people too. Like I said, talented but inspiring. I'm fortunate enough to be in chats that they have. They support each other. They help each other. They give out secrets. A lot of people don't do that. Again, so we're going to get this going here. Let's see. Who am I bringing in first? Since nobody chose to, let's see. Who we're going to... all right, David Lee, you're the first one on here. Not David Lee Roth, but... David Lee Corbo, since you were the top one there, we're going to get this train rolling, and we're just going to have some fun tonight. We're just going to talk about comedy, talk about everything that everybody does here, and make some connections and get everything going. Readjust my camera here. David.
Andy.
What's going on?
How are you, handsome?
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Was your half of New Jersey hanging over there?
Where are you? You're in the lower half?
I'm in Freehold, so I'm a little bit, I'm the center. I'm kind of beneath the center, left of center.
Okay, so wait a second. What's the big question? Taylor ham or how is it?
It's pork roll. It's pork roll because Taylor ham is the brand. It's a logistics thing, Andy. Taylor ham is the brand. Pork roll is the actual pink disc. I think we should throw it all at pink disc.
Pink, I like pink disc. Who doesn't like a pink disc? Anybody not from New Jersey has no idea what we're talking about, but that's actually a thing. People from Jersey talk a little bit differently, depending on where you are. Basically, we're all a bunch of idiots. That's something.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You know what's funny is right before I went on, you said you called me David Lee, and then you said not David Lee Roth, and I just think it's a fun thing to note that I was named after David Lee Roth.
That's awesome.
My father was a big Van Halen fan.
Wow. Props to you. Wow, that's cool. That is very cool.
Good taste runs in the Corbo blood.
Can you do the jumps and splits though? Can you?
It's something, it comes and goes. Sometimes I can. I got to limber up a little bit. You got to practice. The sort of thing you don't jump into cold. That's how you tear a groin muscle.
Favorite Van Halen song?
I mean, you can't do that to me. Listen, if my father hopped in this chat and he heard me pick anything that wasn't in alignment with him, there'd be a kind of a court battle, some sort of disownment, I'm sure. So I'd like to keep the family together.
Fully understood and agreed upon. Absolutely. Dave, tell us a little about the Comedy Content Collective. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about what this group does. And again, it's not just a group of people. It's a group of people that support and help each other. And that's the amazing thing about you guys. And that's why I want to get everybody on here tonight.
Sure. Well, it's an interesting thing because I was somehow found myself being one of the early members of the CCC. I myself have no artistic capabilities whatsoever. So I'm actually I've been allowed to be in the presence of these artists. But what happened was back in 2017, I started a podcast called Where I Belong. And it was this way of trying to interview people that I thought were interesting. And one of the things that I fell into, which turns out to be a rabbit hole, is artists on Instagram. more specifically, artists on Instagram who do work for people that we admire. So, you know, comedians that we all love and know. And so I found myself interviewing, if I'm not mistaken, the person that I interviewed from the DCC was Nathan Harris of Drawn from the Mind. And Nathan, actually, he can't be here because he's getting ready to have a baby. Not him himself, his wife is. They're both getting ready to have a baby. So shout out to Nathan for the incoming infant.
Now, because before he did say that he was going to probably be scrubbing up, and I was like, when did he become a virgin? I did, and now I get it. So
yes, that's right. He's going to actually catch the baby. And so through Nathan, I was introduced to Chase, and I was also introduced to Joe Harris of Photoshopped AF. And like I said, it was in the early days of it, and we all became friends through, you know, they had already recognized each other's artistic capabilities, but my platform gave them the ability to see each other's faces and to connect for a couple of hours and have fun. And so we all became friends through that way. And then I watched everybody put their heads together and just accumulate one killer artist after another artists who all had the same intent, this kind of singular goal in mind of creating art for their favorite people, you know. And it was cool to see, because unlike a lot of other reasons for creating something, this was specifically done out of admiration for all the same people, you know, whether it's Joe Rogan or you know, especially the big podcasters, The Fighter and the Kid, Bad Friends, things like that. All these people came together and just chopped it up, had laughs about their favorite comedians, laughed about the specials, laughed about the podcast, you know, brainstormed all these ideas. And so, yeah, I may not have the ability to create art that way, but I got to sit back and watch these people kind of watch this hive mentality at work, and they're all cranking out all this awesome work, and it's one hilarious thing after Photoshop memes, actual art, like you mentioned before. Some people do pen to pad, some people do Photoshops and such. But yeah, I mean, it's a simple idea, kind of in its purest form of just let's create killer content for fun people. And out of that sprouted Chase's brain baby. I have to give credit where credit is due. It's all because of Chase Lepard down there, or as I call him, Sweet Chulapoo.
that's that. I think we should all call him that. Why not?
I think so.
But you did. You say that you may not be an artist, but you are an artist, and you are like a Dr. Frankenstein. You created this. You put this all together. And created what is known as the CCC, the Frankenstein.
So, don't put that on me. I didn't do this. I don't want to be responsible for that. One day they're going to slip up and they're going to do something that teeters on the edge of funny and offensive, and I don't want all that on my shoulders.
That's the thing that I love about going. Sometimes it's very overwhelming for me. I'm one of those people, nothing stops up here, 24/7, insomnia. So sometimes I go into the chat and I got to get right back out of the chat, because these are people who really understand podcasts, specifically comedy, but podcasts. My God, it's an amazing, like I said, it's an amazing group to watch. And again, I think like you just said, you're nervous about what can come in the future, but that's what's great about it. It's uncensored, and it's a safe place to be uncensored. And true comedy is uncensored. You know, unfortunately, we are in a time when you do have to watch what you say. You have to be careful, you know, and it's great to see. That's, like I said, when I go into the room there and I see everybody doing their thing, it's almost like being backstage at like a big comedy event where you have like great comedians and they're no longer on the stage and they're backstage. Yeah. And it's a different conversation. And that's what you see in the CCC in the chat there. It's a different conversation than what the public gets. Because great comedy has no filters.
No, it's the green room. It's like the green room, you know. It's some people. I love the analogy because it's like it started on college campuses. You would have safe spaces away from potentially offensive speech, and this is a safe space, away from anybody telling you that maybe it was insensitive, because you have to run the risk of being insensitive or run the risk of offending people in order to be funny. If you are too caught up thinking about who this is going to hurt, well, the truth is everything is going to hurt someone. And if you spend all your time thinking about the person that it might hurt within a certain boundary, but you're never going to get anything done. You're never going to produce any content. You're never going to be funny because you're hitting the brakes too often, worrying about who's crossing the street. Maybe not the best analogy. You should hit the brakes if someone's crossing the street, but you know what I mean.
Yes. No, it's true, and it's I hope that we do get back to a point where comedy can be a little bit freer. But in the meantime, it's great to see places like this where people can still come together with the same, comedy style in mind that you just rep, and you can realize, okay, this really shouldn't offend anybody in this room. Again, as long as the humor's there, as long as there's no, and I've never seen that from anybody in this group. I've never seen anger. I've never seen hatred. I've never seen malice or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
That was one, like I said, like Donnell and I have a thing too. I said, we say it all the time. There's so much stuff that doesn't go out. There's so much stuff that doesn't make it to the people, to the masses. It's just between us because it's, and then there are times too, I'll send him something and I'll be like, okay, you want to do something with this? And he'll post it. And I'll text him, I'll be like, what the hell? Like, are you sure about that one? And it's like.
Sometimes
Yeah, sometimes you just got to pull the trigger and just, you got to keep comedy alive.
Absolutely.
There's no.
Listen. Before you kick me out of here, I do want to ask you, because I think at some point you did a little bit of stage time. I remember some posts coming down the pipe, and I did a little bit myself as well. I found it to be hats off to comedians, because I've done a lot of things in my life. It is the most anxiety-inducing thing that I've ever done. On the drive to the comedy show, to the venue, I mean, I was like physically yelling at myself out loud in the car, like, you could do this, get your head on your shoulders. Like, do you have any anticipation after all this washes away? Do you ever see a future of maybe hitting the stage again, working out that muscle?
That's what I wanted this year to be. This year was going to be my stage time to build up to a lot more of that. And I got some stage time in early in January, and then everything started shutting down, and then that was the end of it. So I'm hoping we know a little bit more by next year, and I'm hoping to get back to that. Meantime, again, being inspired by people like yourself, by everybody in the CCC, I was missing the stage. I'm going to talk to some other people about too. I kind of hit a dry spot. This year has been tougher for creating comedy. It hasn't been that.
Sure.
So I needed something to do. I miss talking to people. I miss being on stage. I miss seeing a reaction. This is the closest I can get is here, and I'll take it. This is wonderful. It's sharing information. Hopefully it's inspiring. Hopefully it's, bringing light to all of you. And that's what this is about. So, we're going to keep this going here. We want to get everybody going. Let's play some hot potato. Who do you want to see on next? You know everybody here.
Oh, I mean,
throw into the fire.
I have to throw my hat in for Chase. It has to happen. There's nobody that I could imagine. I shouldn't have even been first. It should have been Chase. But before I go, I just want to shout out to my podcast. It's called Dave and Jay versus the World. If you're interested in looking for a new comedy podcast, go to @DaveandJ versus the World. There's no spaces, no underscores, nothing. Just Dave and Jay versus the World. And I also have a exhibition fight that I'm doing on 11/21. That's November 21st. We're raising money through the fight, through donations for Barbells for Boobs. It's a breast cancer organization. And also, what is the children's foundation? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting what it's called. What's the big children's foundation? What in the world is that called? Oh my goodness. But either way, if you're interested in one, gaining early access to the fight, and two, donating money, because half the proceeds are going to Barbells for Boobs and half the proceeds are going to the other organization that I can't even think of right now. But all the proceeds are being donated. You can go to patreon.com/DJVW to donate. And also gain early access to the fight through Make-A-Wish. Thank you,
Make-A-Wish.
Jenna Sunday. Make-A-Wish. How do you forget that?
Wonderful.
Oh my God. One job. Make-A-Wish Foundation and Barbells for Boobs. If you want to donate and gain early access to the fight, patreon.com/DJVW.
Awesome. Anything else you want to plug? Get it out there.
That's it. That's all I got. Nothing but the CCC, Comedy Content Collective.
I see Chase already posted up. He can't jump in. I think he was throwing Jenna under the bus. So,
ooh, of course.
And I think we're throwing Jenna in here.
All right. Thanks for the time.
Peace, love, man. Thank you.
Love you, brother. Bye-bye.
All righty. Let's see now. Let's keep this going here. Jenna, we're going to throw you under the bus here. Hope you don't mind. But, okay, let's send that. We're going to keep this going here. Again, hello there.
Hey, nice to meet you.
How are you?
Whoa,
How's it?
whoa, whoa. Doing okay. I'm on a mixture of cold medicine and Red Bull, so feeling a little weird. Little
That's
good, little
this,
sick.
this should be fun. This is the perfect time to do this.
Yeah.
Jenna, tell us about yourself. Again, I've known you through Instagram. We've gone back and forth on things. That the other thing. Extremely talented, extremely sweetheart.
Thank
You're
you,
kind
thank
of
you.
you're kind of would it be safe to say the mother of the group? Do you keep them in line? Can you keep them in line?
Mother of the group. I try. There is one other girl, Emma Terry Art, who's incredible. But she had a baby, so she's a little busier. She's probably the real mom of the group, but yeah, I kick her around. I try to slap them in line sometimes.
So how is it again? Like I was just talking with Dave about in these chats, which again are absolutely hilarious. There's so much unfiltered comedy there. The stuff that goes in there is absolutely wonderful. And again, it's great to see. And I want to thank you too, because it does seem a little uncomfortable at times. You are one of those people that understands and gets comedy, and it doesn't bother you, does it?
No, pretty much nothing really bothers me. It's like, oh, you said words. That's cool.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for understanding what true comedy is all about. It's all about the laughter, and it's never meant to offend. It goes over a line here and there, but again, it's just that's what everybody's here for. And what do you do?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, a little bit about me. So, before a few years ago, I wasn't a huge stand-up comedy fan. I kind of fell into it and kind of, as some crazy stuff happened. I'll just tell you what happened. I had a friend and coworker named Lucas Drake. He was one of my best friends here in Vancouver. We worked in visual effects together. Just great guy, stone cold sober, but he would party the hardest out of anybody, always down to hang. Just so funny. And he also did stand up. He unfortunately, passed before his time.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, at his service, his brother said something in passing, kind of like, oh, someone's gotta keep the laughs going for him, like that kind of thing. And I took it to heart. I mean, I never lost like a friend like that. Like he sat next to me, and visual effects, man, you're in it like 10-hour days, 12, 14, 16 hours, months without a day off. Like he was my brother, and so yeah, I took it to heart. I tried some stand-up classes. I took a class through Stand Up for Mental Health, which is a nonprofit that helps give a voice to addicts, people who suffer from mental illness. Like I was having a lot of depression, and gives them kind of helps them use comedy to heal a little bit. And we did a showcase at Yuck Yucks, and it was friends and family. They all had to laugh. So it was really great. I dedicated my set to Lucas, and his widow was there. And after that, stand up, it's again, like David said, hats off. It's absolutely terrifying. I'm introverted. I'm shy. Like my heart is pounding. I'm sweating for this. But yeah, I ended up, going to stand-up shows, watching specials, just trying to immerse myself, figure it out. I found, Joe Rogan podcast through that. I kind of found the umbrella of the other podcast comedians. I found the CCC almost right away. I did a super silly like Garth meme just before the deep fakes. I put like Tom's head on like Garth, and that kind of blew up, and I did some work for Tom. And Tom actually donated to the Stand Up for Mental Health, which was awesome. It made everyone so happy. And yeah, through that, I just fast forward. I produced Bad Friends. I produced Whiskey Ginger, with Joe Faria, and yeah, that's where I'm at. I quit visual effects for now just to do that stuff full time.
That's all. And I just want to say thank you for opening up. That I know that wasn't easy for you to do, but thank you for sharing from the heart. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is comedy. My situation. Everybody knows my situation. Comedy can take one of the worst times in your life, and it can get you through it. And that's important. That, you know, a lot of people don't want to laugh during things. A lot of people think you can't laugh at anything. Those who know me and know my stand up, I get up on stage and I joke about what I go through with my son every day. Somebody hearing the joke may think that it's harsh, but when you see me on stage telling it, it's my life.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, laugh along with me. This is my therapy. And that's the big thing about laughter, about comedy, about the memes, about what everybody does here. It's therapy for ourselves, and it's therapy for other people. So we're sharing something from inside of us that's helping us to get through something, and hopefully it's helping somebody out there get through it. So it's a wonderful thing that we all kind of do. And again, thank you for opening up your heart and sharing that. That's a beautiful thing to understand, that that's how you got into the comedy world, is out of love and respect for someone who's no longer here. You want to keep the laughter going, and that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
Of course.
Where can we see more of your stuff? Where can we find out more about you? What platforms? And again, I know all the podcasts that you're working on, hit them all up again.
Sure. Watch Bad Friends every Monday at 9 a.m. Whiskey Ginger, 3 a.m. On Fridays. And I'm just Jenna_Sunday, like the day of the week, on Instagram. And I'm mostly just kicking around Insta. So this is probably the most anyone will ever see of me right here.
Well, I am grateful and I appreciate it. And again, I thank you for it. I thank you for your,
thank you.
Thank
and
you
also,
for your
I don't know if I said, but when I saw you on, Kevin Smith's film, see, I'm so nervous I can't even remember the name, but I lost my shit. Oh my God, Jay and Silent Bob.
The popcorn eater.
Yeah, that's you. Okay, I'm gonna let someone else get on. I'm turning red.
Who we're hot potato. Who do you want to throw under the bus next? Who should we get?
Oh, let's get a noob, another Strauss. He's a little newbie.
Okay.
See what he has to say.
I'll check him out. As long as he's on here, let's get him going.
I see him.
Again, Jenna, thank you so much for everything. Have a great night.
Yeah, thanks.
Keep the laughter going.
Okay, bye.
All right. Again, that's what it's all about. We're all just here just to have a good time, just to open up our hearts, just to have some comedy, just to laugh at everything. Let's see here. Okay. I don't see Mr. Strauss on here. Okay. All right. Who wants to go on next? Somebody hit me with a thing. Let me see here. Let's see. Who are we going with next? Let me hit... Alrighty. Rebellion Artwork. I'm throwing you in. Let's see what happens.
Boy. All right. Hey.
You never know what's going to happen.
My bad. I just jumped in because it popped up. I'm on the road right now, so let me go ahead and correct that. I am now more visible. How's it going, man?
Good. Oh, where are you on the road?
I'm actually somewhere in Southern California. We just dropped off the Grapevine, so I'm heading back to Bakersfield, where I'm from, about 2 hours north or so from Los Angeles.
See, this is great. We never know what's going to happen. Now we're on the road.
I know, right? I thought, well, when you first said it was at 8 o'clock and me like a dummy on the West Coast, I'm like, 8 o'clock it is. No.
I've missed a couple of these because of, I assume that when I say, you forget the coast, and I should know that by now. At 52 years of age, I really need to specify that I'm dealing with people from all around the world. But
well, I should know that you're from Jersey, I shouldn't know.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do, how you came to be with the Comedy Content Collective, and where we can see your work and find more about you.
Yeah, so, I'm relatively new too. So Strauss was supposed to be on, but Jenna threw me, it just came up on mine, so I'm here. But yeah, I'm relatively new as well. And I'm actually, I was kind of a fanboy of this group first before I ever came to it. You bugged Trevin, who I was Frame of Mine Art, and bugged Nathan, who I mentioned earlier, and bugged Chase all the time about, love their stuff. And I was doing some of the similar things. I come from a background of doing comic book art, and that is a very difficult industry to break into. So in my spare time of not trying to make a comic book, I draw people making jokes or parody art of people who make jokes.
That's what comic book art. That was always I grew up on the Heavy Metal magazine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
I grew up on that fantasy. I mean, that was everything. I used to draw a ton of that. So, I mean, I used to be more of a pen to paper artist. I pretty much let it go, unfortunately. Every now and then I'll sketch something or I'll do something. But I was pretty good. And, you know, like that was my type of thing too. I wanted to get into comic book art. Absolutely love it. And those some of the best art out there.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, absolutely.
the detail, the shading, the action that you have to have. Uh,
Hmm.
it has to be alive. Absolutely amazing work. So we can
Yeah.
find more of your stuff on your page. And what else are you doing? What else you got coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on a comic book. I don't have any date for that, so I very seldom plug it at all. It's just the kind of long-term project for me. But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, coming from comic books, I mostly was pen and paper starting. So I kind of walked into the digital medium cold probably about last year. And that's when I started up the page and really started being like a fanboy of all these people that were doing comedy art and stuff like that. So like I said, you know, it's still an adjustment coming into it, but I've loved all these guys. They're nothing but supportive. Like, it's crazy, like, how much they actually will give you advice. Like, Trevin in particular, I plug him so much because I bothered that dude. I know I've never seen his face other than on his videos, but I know I bothered him just because I'm like, dude, you're doing this so perfectly. How can you help me with this so perfectly? And as opposed to, like, you know, when you work at comic conventions and do draws for people, the guy in the booth next to you hates you. But all the guys in the chat here are like nothing but supportive, and especially like, you know, I've been in this group less than 2 months maybe at this point. So, and they've already just been like, "Yep, you're fine. Come and start working and ask us whatever." That's been the best part.
That's the awesome thing. And I think a lot of that trickles down from comedy itself.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of different industries, a lot of different things. It's competition. It's who can do it better. What I see with this, and specifically with this group, is the how can I help you? What secret can I give you? What and again, there aren't that many industries that do it. Comedy supports. True comedians
Hmm.
support. Don't get mad at another comedian if they do something bigger and better than them. No, you feed off of that energy and you use that to help you grow. So it's a wonderful thing. Again, you know, I'll keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. Hats off to the CCC about it's just a wonderful group, and I'm glad that I'm able to keep this going here. I don't know if I think you're locked up, probably because you're driving. We may have lost you. Yeah, I think we might have lost. Okay, yeah, we probably lost you there due to driving on the road there. Okay, let's see here. There he is. We're gonna get you going. Rebellion, not a big deal. I'm sure you know you're driving, so I'm sure we were gonna lose you at some point there.
What's going on?
What's happening? Now,
It's another Strauss,
we're
by
no
the
longer
way.
driving. Now we're stationary.
Yeah, we're good now.
Tell me
But
about
nice to meet you first and foremost, Andy. Thank you for having me on. I was trying to get on earlier, just I guess I couldn't get to the button quick enough. But yeah, thank you so much for putting this on and giving us a face to our artwork. Shoot. But yeah, definitely. First off, I want to give a big shout out to Jenna again. I mean, that woman was my plug into the CCC. She actually has pretty much got me my artwork a little bit further out there than I expected. So, but with the Kevin Smith or likeness, I will say this: Kevin Smith is part of the reason why I felt like this was possible. I met him at a really young age, back at the 2004 Wizard World Convention. And that man is probably one of the kindest souls I've ever met. Like, when you're 8 years old, here's this guy who makes these, you know, rated R comedies and stuff like that, but he's still able to spew a couple jokes out and inspire me as a, you know, little kid. And then you got Jay hitting on my stepmom over in the corner. It was pretty good, but yeah, definitely a little nervous right now. I'm not gonna lie, not really too often. So
like I said, this is just a conversation between two people. We're just laughing, we're talking. Kevin Smith, absolutely amazing person. I've always been a huge fan, so it was very funny when Donnell Rawlings got a call from Kevin Smith, and he said, "Would you like to be in my movie?" Donnell said, "Can I bring a friend along?" And Kevin was like, absolutely, of course. And there's a whole backstory to the whole thing about how I was supposed to be one of the cops in the opening scene, but when I got there for clothing the day before, they saw this and they were like, I don't think there could be a cop in that scene. And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next day, Kevin basically, Popcorn Eater was created in Kevin's mind just in because he was like, we're going to figure something out. He knew who I was. I had met Kevin the year before at his birthday party down in South Jersey here.
Yeah.
He knew that I was Donnell's guy, and him and Donnell are very close. So Kevin immediately open arms. You know, we were talking a while. What do you need? And then again, being on set with him, I've been on a bunch of sets in my life and a bunch of different things. And to hear a man whose name is on the movie basically go, okay, we're going to start filming. Try to follow the script, but if you have something that you think could add to it, let's try it. I mean, it's like what? He is all about just having a good time, making sure that there's laughter within it, because that's what's going to create the laughter in the movie. You have to have laughter.
Yeah.
You have to.
It has to be organic. Otherwise, if you're just limiting who you're is acting, like that's just going to cause for a stale film. And you know, you got to have fun with it. So I get that, and that's why I like Kevin in general, though, because he's so lighthearted and he's so just like, I guess, a people pleaser, you know. And he wants to make sure everybody's happy, and so that you can totally tell just with with his sets and just his cast that they just love and enjoy being around him. And of course, I watch Fat Man Beyond, so you know,
just an absolutely amazing human being.
Oh yeah.
Again, I'm hoping hopefully there's going to be some more stuff with him next year. Again, hoping that everything calms down. I'm hoping to be involved with some more stuff with him. Looking forward to that. But again, I mean, that's just absolutely great. And what do you do?
What do I do? Yeah, off of Kevin, who's probably all over the internet and talked about enough. Yeah, me. I'm an artist. I'm based out of Arizona, Phoenix. I usually do digital art mainly on my page. I really like to paint, do acrylic art. So like every once in a while, you'll catch me doing some kind of film poster or something like this. This is for Blood Quantum. It's a Shudder movie starring a friend of mine. His name is Kyle Gordon. And excellent zombie film, especially with Halloween just passing and stuff. But definitely my hobby. I love film, and that's originally what kind of got me into comedy, was because watching Kevin Smith and then seeing all of his comedians through Dogma, honestly, because I was I want to say like 8 or 9 at the time that I'd watched Dogma, and Chris Rock, George Carlin. I mean, even seeing Carrie Fisher in Jay and Silent Bob reboot, or not reboot, but Strikes Back. Yeah, that was just mind blowing, because I'm like, that's Princess Leia. What is she doing in that? What's going on here? So just kind of opened up a whole new world there. But yeah, long story short, my goal at the end of the day is just to work in the industry. I just want to do art every single day, have some kind of concept being thrown out there, because I love movies so much. I have tons of designs in my head, you know, so hopefully you can see it on screen one day. Keep on creating, keep on inspiring, keep on doing what you do. Where can we find your work? You can find my work on my Instagram page, @AnotherStrauss. And then you can also find my work, almost like my portfolio. It's at alpinemediacrew.com, and you can find me underneath the crew page there. It'll have a list of my work in a description and stuff. But yeah, feel free to hit me up. I'm learning animations as well since this COVID crisis happened, and Jenna gave me that nudge. I decided to pick that up a little bit and just see where I can go with that. So awesome stuff. Anything else you want to plug? Or no, I just, again, thank you. Like, seriously. Again, I'm appreciative of all of you. I mean, I'm doing this because of so many different people I'm inspired by. And again, this group is part of the inspiration for me, just to keep doing something. That's what it's all about. And again, I hope that what we're doing here inspires somebody else. So we just keep that going, just keep it going, just keep it going. You got to pass it. Yep, exactly. And that's just the positivity of the CCC, and just the inspiration that they instill within their members, and just everybody that they speak to is like a huge driving point for myself and why I want to get their name out there. So like, yeah, again. And actually, I do want to plug, he'd hate me if I didn't say any of this, but one of my best friends, Wade Coda, he was on American Idol. He just dropped a new single a couple weeks back. Check it out. It's on Spotify. Really good guy. What was the name again? His name is Wade Coda.
Okay. How do you
Yep,
spell
he was. His last name is spelled C-O-T as in Tom A.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
check him out.
We will definitely check that out. Who should we throw under the bus next? Anybody in particular you want to throw in on here?
Let me see. How about G Knowledge? Let's get that man in here. That
Let's
guy's
get him
incredible.
here.
I love his art.
Again, thank you for everything. I truly appreciate this. Keep on creating and keep on doing everything that you're doing, man.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see where you come with everything too, man. Take care, okay?
Thank you.
Later.
All righty, we're going to keep this going here. Let's see. Who? There we go. G Knowledge. We're going to send you a request. See if we can keep it going. Connecting, and there we are. What's
How's it going,
on?
sir? How's it going, sir? Can you
How
hear
are
me?
you doing? Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, cool. I didn't know if my internet connection was unstable or not.
So, introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself. What do you do in the CCC?
I actually have just been entered into the CCC just a few months ago. Everybody was extremely kind, so cool, and it felt I'm a bit of a nerd, and I was really into World of Warcraft for a while, and like guild chat, just kind of the community chat is kind of what the CCC reminds me of. It's kind of just like a fun community of people talking throughout the day, sharing ideas and figuring out a way to make the group into something better. And I'm pretty sure Drawn from the Mind was the person who got me into it. And I was sending one of my recent designs to him on Facebook, and he was like, "Hey, just so you know, this is Drawn from the Mind. Like, I run the Bad Friends Facebook page, yada yada." And I was like, "Wow, like such a small world." And then lo and behold, that ended up me being invited to the Comedy Content Collective, and it was like when I entered the chat, it was like a celebration going off. They were just like, "Hey, welcome." It was really, really fascinating.
It's great when you find a group of people that that you can basically call your people. Like when you, it's the same energy, it's the same feeling, it's the same love for comedy and laughter and just having a good time.
Exactly.
And when you connect with that, it's absolutely wonderful. I can see some of your artwork in the background. Can we see? Can you pan around? Can we see any of it?
Yeah, of course. I also have a few prints. Here's one I did that everybody might realize. Old Joe Rogan.
That's great.
Trying to figure out the world. And I've done I worked for Sandy Danto also. I've done a bunch of work for Sandy Danto. Here's one I did for Tony Hinchcliffe for
Awesome.
for Kill Tony. Back to the Sandy Danto one, which Sandy's so funny, man. I did his official like pen design.
That's awesome.
And that was really fun. We kind of started as like a pen pal like relationship, and it just blossomed into like me doing artwork and memes and stuff for him, which was really cool. Here's another one of Louis J. Gomez and Zach Amico.
That's awesome. That's very great.
The
Great.
Guest.
Great
I
work.
appreciate it. I
And
really do.
How is it working with art and comedy? Have you worked with like art in other areas other than comedy? And could you compare it to working within comedy?
It's actually funny that you brought that up. I used to make artwork for music. That's kind of how I got my biggest following. I used to make a lot of artwork for festivals, like as far as like dubstep and like Bass Nectar, Pretty Lights, Boogie T, like a bunch of dubstep type of festival type stuff. You'd see like Burning Man type of stuff, and I got really deep into that community for a really long time. And I ended up switching it because I just thought long term I wanted to kind of just the path of the whole music scene and partying. It's a little rough. I'll just be honest. And I guess I matured a little bit, and it's kind of an oxymoron to say that I am maturing by going to comedy because we're just going into fart jokes and stuff. But And to be honest, the comedy scene is a little more active. It's a little more, people message back quicker, like comedians message back quicker. There's more of a back and forth, which is really fun. And with the music scene, I always kind of ended up getting to a dead end. Like I'd always get really far, but I could never finally like collaborate with a music artist. And I did it for 3 or 4 years. I sold a bunch of prints, a bunch of posters, t-shirts, pins, all that stuff. But I could never like fully connect with the musicians that I wanted to work with, whether if it was dubstep or folk music or whatever, because I love all different types of music. So when I guess to kind of wrap it up is that when I finally shifted it to comedy, it all started connecting, and all the comedians wanted to work with me and were responding, and we started actually collaborating together, which was a big deal to me, because it felt like I was finally like tapping into like what I should be doing type of thing.
It's an amazing thing, the energy and the vibe that's in the comedy world. I've been fortunate enough to be around some of the biggest and the best. But no matter what stage you're on, whether it's backstage at Radio City with Dave Chappelle and a million people, or whether it's a little open mic place, there's just something about a vibe amongst comedy and comedians that like I said, you found your people. I found my people. That's what it is. There's just a vibe that you just can't explain. People outside comedy don't always understand when they see comedians talking to each other or ripping on each other or joking with each other. True comedians go hard on each other. And a lot of people look at that and they go, "Whoa, that's love." A lot of people don't understand that the more you rip into somebody, the deeper you cut them, it's because you love them. It's because you trust them. It's because you know that they're going to realize there's no anger in this. It's coming from the heart. This is my way of expressing it. And it's a wonderful thing for comedy.
That's so true. I couldn't agree more. And that was one of the connections where it was kind of like the back and forth. Like it seemed, and I did have a few musicians where we did like I got to meet a few, and it was really cool, a back and forth that we had. But I mean, it's nothing compared to what I've seen in the comedy world. Like getting to meet like after shows. The comedians are so open to meeting their fans and like signing stuff and being there and talking with them and going over jokes, and that's so awesome compared to like usually with like a music outlet. Once they're off stage, they're in the tour bus or partying type of thing, and not with everyone, but from the shift that I like is that after the show I get to kind of meet the person. And everyone's been so cool, like across the board. Like, I don't know what it is with the community, but everyone is always so chill and so cool after the comedy shows, and very much just like, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming to the show. And, I really appreciate you. And that's one thing I love about the comedy scene.
Yeah. It's the connection of is all it is. Where can we see more of your stuff? Tell us where we can find it. And then who do you want to throw under next?
Let's see. You can find me at Knowledge. So if Knowledge Anywhere is in. I've been using that name for probably 9+ years. So if you type it into any search engine, you'll most likely end up leading towards me, which is awesome. And I do artwork for Sandy Danto. I'm his main artist. I'm Paul Verzi's main artist. And so if you need any commissions, or if you want anything done, or yada yada, or if you just want to shoot some ideas, I love doing collaborations. And also I do a lot of stuff for free. You might be surprised if you send me an idea. I might spit something out for free for people. So like definitely hit me up. My name's Knowledge or Nicholas Eldridge. I really appreciate being on here. Andy, you're awesome. This is really, really cool of you to do this. And I'm really glad to be a part of the Comedy Content Collective and be a part of anything like this. I think this could blossom into something really cool. I really appreciate it.
Again, thank you. Like I said, I'm inspired by all of you. I really just wanted to just give everybody a chance to talk about themselves and say what they're doing. So again, thank you. Who are we throwing under next?
Well, let's see. Has Who wants to? One of my friends. I know you guys are in there in the chat. Who wants to go next? Has let's see.
So anybody
Has,
volunteer?
has memes gone yet?
I don't know. You know what? All right, I'm gonna pull you out, and I'm just gonna select somebody there. Again,
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Sorry,
Keep on keep on doing great stuff, and keep looking forward to more work from you.
I really
Thanks.
appreciate it. This was really cool. Thank you.
All righty, let's get that. And we're going to keep this train rolling here. What time is it? We got about 15 minutes left. Let's see here. Let's see here. What we got on here? What we got on here? Let's see. Kool-Aid. Let's see if Kool-Aid Champ is able to get in here.
Hello.
Kool-Aid Champ.
Hello, sir. How's it going? It's a pleasure to be here.
Again, I know, some of you were chatting, you were nervous, you were just that. Again, I am truly appreciative to all of you. Like I said, this is a time for me to do something. I've spoken about it on a couple of other of my babbles about how this year's been tough for me to create my art. That goes for memes, photoshopping. That goes for even writing comedy. It's been a tough year, and I've sat back and I've watched so many people like everybody in this group continue to go on and continue to push each other and inspire each other.
Right.
So,
exactly.
thank you to all of you for what you do. That's
Well, I appreciate the I guess recognition, because we're just a small group. I'm kind of a newbie, kind of like a couple of the other guys said. I just got added into the group a couple of months ago. I'm called the Kool-Aid Champ after the great Bert Kreischer and their podcast, Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura. And I got my cool guy attire on. Sorry if it's a little offensive.
nothing is offensive here.
Yeah, this was given to me by my grandfather, so it was a different generation.
Yeah.
But in the same line of what you were talking about, how this year has been really tough on all of us, kind of how Jenna was saying, it's this really terrible thing that kind of brings something out of people, where it's like a diamond is made under pressure. You know what I mean? And so it's this stark contrast of being this absolutely, I mean, you hit rock bottom and then eventually you just pick yourself up and kind of get back up. So that's kind of exactly what happened to me. My stepfather died just about 9 months ago, and he had epilepsy, and it was really, really hard, and I went into deep depression. But I pulled myself out of it and wanted to, basically like this whole group has done, I wanted to make myself laugh. I wanted to bring that back to me. I wanted to bring that back to other people. I wanted to just be happy again. So I like I said before, I hit rock bottom and I pulled myself back up. And now every day the chat, the Comedy Content Collective, it does nothing but make me laugh every single day. Every single day. It's nothing but good vibes, and I've never felt any sort of animosity whatsoever. It's always been nothing but us wanting to make each other better and greater and boost each other up. And it's been very, very like a pleasure and an honor, to be honest. I think Chase Lepard, he was the one who added me. Thank you, Chase. So he is what we call our fearless leader. He started the Comedy Content Collective, like how David said, our brainchild, or his brainchild. So yeah, I'm just sort of a newbie. I don't do like some of our great people that we have in this group. They do crazy art. They do the most amazing sort of things with just, I mean, the technology we have now makes it so that we can make anything from our mind is now reality, memes into reality. Shout out for him. So like, it's just basically taking something that, I mean, like you said, this year's been tough, but that's, I think, why it's gonna be great again. Not to say anything about that, but I think it is going to be, because of, I mean, comedy is tragedy plus time. We just need a little time to process everything, and eventually we'll just start up again. And like you said, it's been tough for everybody this year, and I'm really really sorry to hear about it being tough on you, especially because it's just there's so many great things and great things to laugh about out in the world. You just need to find them. And I think that we all have found something here that is unreplaceable, this feeling of having a community and a people to just joke around and talk shit with. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly. First off, congratulations to you for pulling yourself out of that hole. That's
Oh,
something
thank you very much.
about on here a lot. It is tough. We all deal with depression on different levels. Comedy is an amazing thing that can help you through that. When you find a group of people like this, like I said, the comedy world in itself is just very inspiring. They're always there for you. I've said it over and over again, and a lot of people know this. My DMs are always open. I got to be careful saying that because now I know, especially from this group, what I'll get from that. But my DMs,
Yeah.
they're always open to chat about anything. I will talk about comedy. I will talk about life. I will talk about death. I will talk about anything that you want to talk about because it is very therapeutic. Like you said, laughter is comedy itself. I didn't realize, doing what I do, I love seeing the reactions, the responses, the likes, the comments, uh, getting up on stage these past couple of years. I've learned from some great comedians, and I've learned from my own experiences too. A lot of what comedy on stage isn't always just for the audience. A lot of it is for us. It's my best.
Exactly.
I have missed it this year. Like I said, I really started finding my groove the past year or two, and this was going to be my year just to go really hard in the paint with comedy. And again, it wasn't that I have a goal per se, or I want to do this, or I want to be headlining, or I want to be. I do it because I found it to be my best therapy. Getting up on that stage, I really found to be the greatest therapy. When you can look out and you can see you have some people smiling and you have some people laughing just because of what's going on in my life. And that is my comedy. My comedy is what goes on in my day, what goes on with my son. Um, I don't know if you saw when you were telling your story, and I'm probably going to get a little choked up again, so bear with me here.
No,
Um,
I'm here for you. So please,
Epilepsy.
barrel.
Ep-
Hmm.
Very tough thing. Right before we got on this, my son just had a grand mal. I deal with that every day. My son has numerous seizures, different types of seizures. If it wasn't for the comedy, to be quite honest with you, I don't know if I would be able to get through every day. So we have we yes, I have jokes about epilepsy. They're hard for some people to hear, but
Hmm.
it's my
Very
way.
much so.
It's my way of getting through it. I have to laugh at it, otherwise I wouldn't get through the day. It's
Exactly. There's so much that people don't understand that when you live with that every day, it's such a odd feeling because he wasn't always in my life, but when he became a great part of it, he deteriorated before the end. So it was at first it was something, and then it became another. So it was just a hard reality to deal with. But the way that we got through it is that we had each other, and the way that we made each other laugh because of the small things that would happen, because of the big things that would happen, because of everything in the world that's going on, you might as well just laugh because I think it's especially an admirable quality of a person to want to take a person could be miserable. It doesn't, I mean, podcasting is amazing and comedy is amazing, whereas it has this ability to take a person could be miserable, whatever mind state you're in, but you could listen to something and you could be absolutely that rock bottom, and you listen to something, it just takes you out of it for a moment to just laugh, that great laugh, that hearty laugh of that was hysterical. I don't even remember what I was upset about, and that's an admirable quality. Shout out to Bert Kreischer because he always is. He's such a good heart. I don't know if you're very familiar with his work, but he always has heart. Plug The Cabin on Netflix.
unbelievably funny. I'm very fortunate. Bert actually follows me on Instagram, and that's like one of my joys of life. We've gotten
Man.
times too. He knows my situation with my family. A wonderful person. It was my wife's birthday back in September, and I reached out to Bert. Could you just give me like a quick shout out for my wife's birthday? He put together this wonderful. I mean, again, um, being connected with I may rename this whole thing to Who Am I? because being connected to so many people like Bert, and I can name so many names, and you begin to
Yeah,
realize
that's the cool thing.
realize
There's so many people that want to do this,
you
that
realize
want to just
they're
make
not
each other laugh.
they're just like us though. That's the
Well,
thing.
yeah, of course, of
They're
course.
just like us. They have lives. They understand ups and downs, uh, and again, they want to just make people laugh and make people smile. And again, I'm grateful to people like Bert, who's again just an incredible, one of the greatest comedians, but also people don't realize too, and they need to realize is an incredible, amazing human being. And again, I'm fortunate
Exactly.
to be surrounded by so many people within my circle that, you know, I sometimes I look around and I'm like, who am I? Like, why am I here? Like, why can I call this person? Why is this person calling me? Like, who the hell am I? You realize
This surrealism of, oh, this is reality.
it's
This
an
is reality.
it's an if you put your good energy out there, you're gonna get that good energy from amazing people like that back.
Exactly.
That
Karmatic effect.
absolutely, absolutely. That's a wonderful thing. And again, it's an honor to meet you here tonight. It's an honor to hear
Oh,
your.
it's an honor to meet you, sir. It's a very good pleasure.
We're going to continue this after this, and for many more things. Again, I'm just very grateful to everyone on here tonight for coming on here and just opening up and just talking. That's what this is, and that's what comedy is. Comedy is basically just opening your heart with some humor. So again,
Exactly.
this tonight, where can we find more of your work? Where can we find more about you? What do you have coming up? Plug it.
So the two greatest things in the world are music and comedy. So you can find me on my page, The Kool-Aid Champ, and you can also shout out to Grass Kingdoms and Hen Dog for their great, amazing music. They are music making machines. They are on Spotify, iTunes, everything. Follow them on Instagram, Grass Kingdoms and L Hen Dog. They're fantastic. And thank you to everybody in the Content Collective. You guys are fantastic. You've made my little world a little bit better, and I think that's what it's all about.
We got oh my gosh, I think this is going to end in like 2 minutes.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's gonna time out in 2 minutes. I really want to get some more people on. What I may do is next week I have somebody already scheduled. What I'll probably do is I may do a part 2 of this in 2 weeks because I
Already.
keep this going. So
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people that need to meet you and talk with us.
absolutely. Next week I already have somebody scheduled. It's going to be a secret. It's going to be a pretty big show next week. Though 2 weeks though, for everybody that didn't get on, I knew I wasn't going to be able to get everybody on. We're going to continue this next week. Not next week. I'm sorry. In 2 weeks, we're going to continue the CCC.
2 weeks.
I definitely want to get everybody who wasn't able to get on. We're going to get everybody on because again, this is just an absolutely wonderful group. And again, thank you all for just coming on here. And again, I know, like I saw in the chat before, I know everybody was nervous. I got 157 remaining. It just popped up on my thing.
Very
Again,
very nervous, but I mean that's I feel like pushing through it. That's what comedy is pushing through it and then being able to laugh at it afterwards.
absolutely.
So,
I thank you for your time. We're going to
oh,
do.
I thank you so much.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep inspiring. Hit me up. We're gonna, keep chatting about other things. And again, thank
Absolutely.
you. Peace, love, and laughter.
Yeah, it was fantastic meeting you, man. Thank you so much for having us and me.
Truly appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, so I'm going to time out, and I got 117 remaining here. I'm going to time out then. But what I want to do, this was absolutely awesome. I was hoping to try to get more people in, but again, I talk too much too. So we're going to do a part 2. Next week, I have a very special guest coming on. After that, though, in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from now, we're going to continue with the CCC. We're going to keep that going, get some more people on here. This was definitely a fun one tonight. Truly grateful to everyone. And again, not just for tonight, but grateful to everyone in the CCC there for your inspiration, for your support. I know a lot of you are constantly on my page, even when it has nothing to do with comedy, when it has to do with life. And again, I'm grateful to all of you for that. So again, let's just keep on creating. Let's just keep on laughing. A wonderful Comedy Content Collective night. We're going to continue it in 2 weeks. Next week I have a special guest, but in 2 weeks we're going to continue the CCC, and we're just going to keep the world laughing. Again, laugh at everything. Laughter is the best medicine. All right. Peace, love, and laughter, everybody. Again, a good night. See you next week.